With Aston Villa collapsing against Wolves on Friday night, that door now swings wide open for Manchester United to jump into third place if they beat Crystal Palace on Sunday. We've got lots to actually discuss today, not just on Manchester United, but the teams around us in the Premier League table. So get your thoughts and opinions in that live chat, so we will discuss them throughout today's video. Also, smash that like button. As you know, it's much appreciated. Kick us off there.
Well, in a season of inconsistency, Villa losing at Wolves actually tops it all off. Yeah. They're absolutely devastated. Listen, massive opportunity, and it's an unexpected one. Listen, beating Crystal Palace now takes on a greater significance. I spoke the other day, I said the fans will be on the toes and everything else like that, but this is a different game for fans. I can see United fans on Sunday going absolutely mad and willing this team on. This is unexpected.
I've currently got a live poll running in the live chat, so if you've not already voted on that, please get your votes in and we'll discuss the outcome of that later on in the video. But I want to go through the actual points comparison since January the 1st with the teams that are currently around us. Now, Manchester United have played 7 games and we've took 16 points, whereas Chelsea, Liverpool and Aston Villa have all played 8 games. Now, Chelsea have took 14 points, Liverpool 10, and Aston Villa have only took 9 points, which you would say, you know, it's a bit of a crisis going on there at Aston Villa. You look at the actual central midfield area, they've got the likes of Tielemans, Kamara, who's out until the end of the season, John McGinn as well. And last night, watching them against Wolves, they looked fatigued, especially in that second half.
Yeah, they look fatigued. And listen, when we play them, when we come back from this little break because of the FA Cup, we're not in it. They've got a Europa League game either side of playing Manchester United, and there is players out, maybe have 1 or 2 back, so they've got it all to do. So I'm looking forward to that Aston Villa game now. Takes on more importance. But the Crystal Palace game, I did give my score the other day, 3-0, and I think somewhere down the line, right, we're going to look at goals conceded, goals against, and it may come into play. So for me, playing Crystal Palace gives on more momentum and a greater significance of scoring goals. Not 2-1, not 1-0, not 3-2, 3-0. Let's have a clean sheet. I just can't wait. Watching the meltdown of Aston Villa was absolutely superb. But they've got it tough. It's not the greatest squad, but the players, their significant players, are out. And let's hope that they're out when we play them. But we've still got that Newcastle game to look forward to on Wednesday night, and that is always going to be a big game. I look at 4 points. United have to do it themselves and not rely on other teams. They can't fail against Crystal Palace.
Marcus Duke, thanks for your super chat, mate. Much appreciated. And Simply Dread has come in and gifted 5 memberships. Absolute legend.
Top man.
Simply Dread. 5 people who've been gifted their memberships. A big thank you to Simply. Now, Derek Brown says, choo-choo. The deluded train doesn't seem so deluded anymore.
No.
Up United.
No, doesn't seem deluded. We're getting favours done us. So for me, there's no deluded train. This is all down to the football we're playing now. We've put ourselves in a position. Let's not fade. We have to take advantage of it. These are the opportunities. And like I say, it's an unexpected one. And to be honest, I think looking at it, it might even bring a bit of its own pressure on the players, because going third, they see that opportunity. And let's hope that the nerves don't kick in here. Listen, United have been playing well at Old Trafford, and I expect United to go for it.
With you just talking about opportunities, I remember us doing videos late October and throughout November saying opportunity knocks to go and get into the top 4 places, you know, with games and results that come against when we played Forest. I think it was Tottenham, West Ham and Everton. We never capitalised on getting the wins against them teams, but it's a different feeling now under Michael Carrick.
Well, when you go back in time and when you look forward, right, like what we was doing in October and November, we was proper on the deluded train. There's no 2 ways about it. But this isn't deluded. This is all on the strength of Michael Carrick coming in, changing the formation, changing the way the players act with each other and keeping players in the position. it's always been a good squad. It just needed managing proper. And there's no deluded here. United are in a position because of the football they've been playing. And it better continue. Like, in my mind, it better continue. And a 3-0 win against Crystal Palace is what I'm demanding. And I expect no delusion. It's all on the form. It's all on the players. 3-0.
Sorry to nearly interrupt you there, but I couldn't wait to get this one out. Ansel, thanks for your super chat.
Cheers, lad.
Are we still on the deluded train here? Because he says, I told you 21 is coming. Didn't I? A load of smiling faces on the emojis there. Ansel, does anyone out there actually agree with Ansel? Are we going to actually mount some sort of title charge late on in the season?
Well, he's obviously driving the deluded train, isn't he, if he thinks it's 21. Listen, fair play here. I know you're having a bit of a giggle. Listen, we're in a position here I didn't think, and most of you didn't think, we'd be in a position to get Champions League football a few months ago. But we're in it now, and we've got to grab it. We can't fail. I just see United going for it and not failing. We're playing one game a week on average. The teams in and around us, like your Villa, they're in the Europa League. I think it's around about the 12th of March they play. We play them on the 15th. They then play on the 17th, 18th. It's the same with the teams below us. I look at Liverpool, right? They're not playing well. Chelsea are inconsistent. So everyone around us is inconsistent. We're picking up good points. So I just look at it. Other teams will be dropping points. We can't afford to drop points. Getting a draw at Newcastle, for me, is a great point. That's not dropping points at all. And if we come away with a win, we're right on it.
Yeah, you got Liverpool to play West Ham later on today on Saturday. I think Newcastle are playing Everton as well, which I will try and watch some of that game, obviously with us playing Newcastle next week. Yeah,
well, the teams around us are going to take points off each other, but I just look at it. It's tough. It's getting tough. March, I look at March, right, and everything can change. Come the 1st of April, April Fool's Day, right, we might all be looking at it and thinking, whoa, we're right in there because the other teams are fading. So we will be looking at it and we will be talking about it with you, how Liverpool are going on, how Chelsea are going on. And I think they've got it tough, them two. Champions League football, is that the priority for them to try and win it? They will try and pick up points, but I think they've got it very tough. And they've got some tough games, just like we've got tough games. Going to Bournemouth away on a Friday night, now that's tough. Playing Villa at home and then going to Bournemouth on the Friday night. That's the game I see the slip up. I worry about that game.
A lot of he's getting involved and there's loads of positivity coming through as well, which is absolutely great to see. A couple of super chats have come in as well, but Martin Coyne says, it's there for the taking. Difference being, though, I can sense the squad coming into Palace with a massive confidence boost and wanting to take the 3 points. Take no prisoners. United, United, United.
Well, it's a different fan base. They can smell it. It's a strong smell of Champions League football, and getting third place will take us a long way to getting Champions League football. I just look at it. It's the game on Sunday against Crystal Palace. I did mention it. I thought to myself, we're going to smash Crystal Palace, even though a lot of people, even though Kieron talks about, whoa, you need to calm down. I ain't calming down. I can smell it. And with a result like Villa getting beat, gives us a great opportunity. And really, inside that ground, I think the fans will be bouncing. Fingers crossed, Liverpool and Chelsea results this weekend go our way. But it doesn't really matter. We shouldn't be relying on other teams. But it's the crowd. It's the game against Crystal Palace. I think that's vital. We get a good win. I think not only the fans will be on the toes, they'll be outrageous. The fans will be cheering and going mad, right? But I think the players can sniff it.
Yeah.
Like under Michael Carrick, there's a different attitude. So getting a point, getting 3 points in a game, there is always a different attitude with United. They're looking forward to the next game because they all know what they're going to do. There's no experiments with players.
Arthur Hayden says he's coming over for the game from Dublin. Top 3, come on Manchester United. Anyone else at the game on Sunday, come and say hello to us while we're at Hotel Football before the game. A couple of super chats did come in. Barry Leo, thanks for your super chat. He says, Emery will be available this summer if Villa collapse. If they don't get European football, mate, and it is a collapse, I mean, yeah, question marks will be there on Unai Emery himself, because how can he then take the team for next season?
Listen, question marks against Unai Emery. Look, it's not the biggest squad, and they're just looking fatigued. They've got the whole, virtually the whole of the midfield out. I tell you what, there'd be no Aston Villa fans, will there? Surely not. There won't be any Aston Villa fans screaming for the head of Unai Emery when you look at what Liverpool are doing and what they've spent.
Well, if you look at actual Liverpool, what they spent last summer compared to, well, the actual squad compared to Aston Villa's squad.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at it in what he's actually been doing there. I mean, you take yourself back to December, everyone out there was screaming that they're overachieving Aston Villa.
Yeah.
So it's always going to come back to bite them at some point with the amount of games that they've been playing as well. And let's hope it goes in our favour, where they keep on slipping up, and Manchester United take advantage of it, starting with Crystal Palace on Sunday.
Yeah, listen, no Villa fan will...
won't be screaming for Unai Emery's head at the end of the season. No chance.
Absolutely no chance. No. More chance of Liverpool fans screaming for their manager to get sacked because they're not happy. But listen, we can't rely on anyone. And like I say, I'm not too sure, right? But I do believe the Bournemouth game is the tricky game. Going to Newcastle, it'll be tough. And it's going to be interesting to see how they get on against Everton, because if they don't win their game, Newcastle, that could be them out of sight, possibly challenging for a European place. So that might dent them. Plus, they've got to look at games coming up.
Yeah, I can't see Newcastle gaining any points over the top. Well, with the teams above him to get any sort of Champions League qualification, but Europe is maybe still possibly on the cards, and we'll watch them, like I said, later on today to get a feel of how they may set up against Manchester United. But even if they lost against Everton today, it's still going to be a tough game against them midweek, because they raise the levels every single time United go to St James's Park. Always
raise the levels. It's a game and a half. The atmosphere there, night game, under the lights and that. But, I just got to sort of calm it down here, because people do call me and say, calm down, take one game at a time. And I am taking one game at a time, right? And people have told me to calm down. You cannot calm down when you're playing Crystal Palace and you're being given a great opportunity now, right, to get the third spot and Champions League spot. Right? I ain't calming down. I am still on it. And it's not a deluded train. I just absolutely do believe that now, playing Crystal Palace 3-0, that's how it should be. And the importance of winning 3-0, right, is so the manager can rest players, right, for Wednesday night. And I want that goal early.
And Sal's come back, thanks for your super chat. He said, from 15th to this, floating on a cloud of Delulu.
Well, if you talk about deluded and all that and craziness in football and inconsistencies, there we was last year fighting it out with Tottenham Hotspur right at the bottom and both getting in the Europa League. Now, thank God we are where we are. But look at Tottenham, how they are. I am so happy that we haven't got what Tottenham have got.
Fred Cranham has gifted 10 memberships. Absolute legend, Fred the Red. 10 people who've been gifted their memberships. Give a big thank you to Fred. And up against Crystal Palace tomorrow, I think when I looked at the actual form and the stats of Palace yesterday, I think it's 2 wins in the last 16 games in the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, they won the Conference League game. But that's a poor side they played. I don't think they'll get any confidence from that. I don't think there is any confidence in the manager. I've seen a few reports saying, yeah, the manager and Palace, they're up for it and all that, winning that cup, right? But they won't be up for it. And I did say the other day, right, these players, Crystal Palace players, are coming here to Old Trafford, right, to try and get their own pride. And they're playing Man United. And you know what it's like. You're playing Man United, you raise your game. But they're not playing for the manager.
No.
And that's why I want an early game, right? Because their heads will go down once we score that goal. And I want an early goal.
Well, he's a dead man walking, really, isn't he, Glasner? I mean, even with the fans, I mean, you've seen banners come out at the last home game, fans clearly not happy with him. And, you know, they played midweek Conference League. Man United will be fresh.
Oh, fresh. Well, Man United should be fresh. But I'll give you something. I look back at football and I look at Newcastle when they were playing one game a week, right? And they clearly qualified for Champions League. And once they've got Champions League football, they suffer. So I look at it from a United point of view. United have been playing one game a week. So you look forward, don't you? You look forward to bringing players in the transfer window in the summer, because it is clearly imperative that we bring in quite a few players. I don't expect quite a few players, but that's my personal opinion. But if we do get Champions League place, right, or a European place, let's say, right, we have to bring players in, because if we don't, the league form will fail. It will fail.
Paul Taylor says, a mental test of character. Do we want third? Colin Roberts says, remember, we have a poor record at home to Palace. I think we've been beaten the last 2 Premier League games at home over the last 2 seasons against Palace. But look at Liverpool, the results and the run we had against them over previous years. Brighton as well, and then most recently Tottenham as well. I don't think we beat him in the previous 8 games before the other week at Old Trafford. So the form does not worry me whatsoever. This is under Michael Carrick, and it's a confidence. There's clearly a belief with these players. So it doesn't matter who comes in front of Manchester United. I'm always confident under Michael Carrick right now that we can get the 3 points.
Yeah, it's a different Manchester United, and it's also a different Crystal Palace side. Yeah. You know, they're low on confidence. Everything seems to be chaos at Crystal Palace. No money. Manager has been kicking off and going on. Fans have turned against the manager in what he's said. He's leaving at the end of the year. He doesn't care. He's not bothered. He will probably try and get that Conference League trophy, and then he'll be walking out. So what past results have gone? They've gone. United are in a completely different place, and so are Crystal Palace. But it's all about, can United take that? And there is a bit of pressure, more added pressure, because of the Villa result.
Yeah, Ansel also says, makes a good point that not only is Glasner in trouble, dead man walking, Palace have several players who clearly have an eye on the transfer window. One of them being Adam Wharton. I'm sure a few of you out there will be keeping a close eye on him on Sunday.
Well, this is the thing with Crystal Palace. They're already looking to. They're not getting relegated. They're not getting European football. So for me, I just look at it. These players are looking at themselves, because the managers looks at themselves. It's, you know, look after myself. That's the attitude. You know, I'm all right, Jack. The manager's all right. The players are all right. They'll be looking for, a lot of them will be looking for their exit. It's in turmoil, and United have got to take advantage of it. It's
only a similar situation, really, of what Manchester United were last season in the Premier League, not playing for nothing. And you've seen the poor results, what we were seeing, poor performances. You didn't know which team were going to turn up week on week. Otherwise, we're really on that Europa.
I wouldn't say it was the same. I mean, 2 different clubs. I mean, this is the biggest club in the world.
Yeah, I know, but in terms of the actual...
Yeah, there's different pressures and everything. You know, if you look at Crystal Palace last year, they weren't doing experiments. They were flying. United were just doing experiments on the pitch. And this is the difference. This is why a lot of people out there think United are certainties for Champions League football. And I agree. My attitude changed. My opinion changed. Once Carrick come in, I expected free-flowing football, attacking football. I didn't expect to win and get all these points. But the thing is, you can clearly see why. Because the players are playing in a position and there's no experiments. Players playing out of position, and it's a different attitude.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, though, in the last couple of games, we've not seen that free-flowing football, let's be honest with ourselves, but the points matter to me. So even if we go into this Palace game tomorrow and it comes out the result 1-0 and it's not the best of performances, it's the 3 points that matter the most for me.
Well, the difference is, this is a team, right, playing for each other, fighting for each other, and they fought for that point at West Ham. You wouldn't have seen that. Well, I doubt you would have seen that previously. But the thing is, you look at the Everton game, they fought all the way through it, and they all know it was a poor game, but they kept at it, and the will to win was there. And that's the difference. Unfortunately, sometimes when United have took the lead, say against Forest away, Tottenham away, right? We've collapsed, straight away. Tottenham, we got the point back. Forest, we got the point back. But this is a different fight. This is a different team.
It's just that I mentioned the points there. I did notice, I've got to be honest with you, is in the community, but out there as well on like YouTube platforms and different channels, like a little bit of negativity creeping in, sort of like looking at the performance instead of the actual 3 points. And slamming it kind of thing.
Sometimes I don't understand it. Why people are criticising the West Ham game and the Everton game. Totally different games, okay? Totally different attitude. And there's not just one way to look at football. Oh, it was entertaining. Oh, it was great, free-flowing and all that. There's no such thing in this season, right? A free-flowing football. It's inconsistent. And a lot of teams, I did say the other day, when you talk about like a low block and all that, a lot of teams do play that now. So that's took on a significance. We haven't got the players to consistently break down a low block, and that might change in the summer. So that's something, we might bring in a winger or something like that. You don't know. But a lot of teams do play the low block now, counter-attacking football. And if there's one team what's good at counter-attacking football, it's Manchester United.
Yeah, he was asked as well about Benjamin Sesko in yesterday's press conference, and just full of praise for Sesko, but his character as well behind the scenes.
No, listen, there's nothing more to be said about Sesko. He is a player. And he's being brought on. He's being taught, and he understands, and he's calm, and he knows the situation, and he's happy with it. But other people out there will try to undermine that. And Manchester United are always being undermined, but you can't undermine this squad. You cannot undermine this squad, right? If this squad would have been in the position, right, in the places, in the normal places at the start of the season, who knows where we've been? So that little one there before, right, of 21 incoming, just think about it. If this team would have been in the position set up right, you just don't know where we could have been. So, you look back and you think, have we missed an opportunity? Because this squad, and I always said it, and I got laughed at by people saying it was always a good squad. It just needed the right management. And unfortunately, Ruben Amorim wasn't that to get the best out of this squad, because he didn't want him to play the Michael Carrick way.
Yeah, do you know what? You bang on with that, aren't you? And it looks like that actual opinion right now, it's coming right. Well,
you just got to look at it, haven't you? If these players would have had that fight and consistency, right, we would have been right up there. And I was annoyed, really annoyed. It was the most annoyed I've been all season, to be honest, when we lost the points. We lost when we should have.
Like
we
Forest,
drew.
Tottenham and
it was Forest and Tottenham what really got me narked, because the opportunity was there in the first half against Forest, in the first half against Tottenham. And there's probably quite a few games out there what you consider. Wolves at home. Come on. Everton at home. Opportunities lost. If we'd have got another 7 points there, just look where we'd have been. That's in them games. And that's what's annoyed me most, when I look at how we're playing now to how we're playing before. And it was just a simple thing, right? Nothing magical. It was just a little change of formation. That's all it was.
Ansel's on this deluded train. He's driving it himself.
Go on, son.
Is he driving it himself? Let me know what you think, if you agree or not. Ansel says, scrappy, tough wins are the mark of champions. He's still sticking to
right.
champion. Yeah.
No, that's right. Listen, when you win and like you're not playing well, that's a sign of a good team. Always has been, right? You're fighting because the team is fighting for each other. And that's the difference. They're all fighting. And the one big difference, and we all know it, we're not wide open anymore, and we won't be wide open against Crystal Palace. We'll be on the front foot. We'll be taking it to him. So for me, I just can't wait. One thing about this team, when we come back after the FA Cup game, going to the Villa game, Shea Lacey might be back. Now think of that. We've seen what impact he had. Now Shea Lacey is actually back on the grass training with his individual trainer at the moment, hamstring injury. So he's coming back. So you never know. And Mason Mount might be coming back. So barring any injuries or suspensions, you've got players coming back into this squad, what's already flying. And I think the impact of someone like Shea Lacey coming back, not just for the fans, I think for the teams as well, what an impact substitution he will make.
Why not? Based on what he's done, what are you looking at with Shea Lacey and what
the impact?
Yeah, what in being an academy lad,
No,
gives a lift
nothing
to the fans,
to do with academy, right? It's football. You can see he's got it. The kid's going for it, and he will give a lift to the team when it's needed if he gets the opportunity to come on. That's the type of thing you want, an impact sub. You can see it. We've already got Sesko where he's come on and he's made the impact. Kuna, when he's come on, he's made the impact. So this is an added thing for people to look at going down the line. And having one game a week is a massive bonus and a massive boost for United.
Talking about impacts, player that has had an impact under Michael Carrick is Kobbie Mainoo.
To an extent. I don't think he's free-flowing. I don't think he's like off the charts. But what you can see there, you need him in there. And it was criminal that he was out of the side because he clearly fits in with this team. I don't think he's been brilliant. I think he's been good. I think there's a lot more to come from Kobbie Mainoo. I think that's how you have to look at Kobbie Mainoo. He has been out of football consistently for a long time. So don't put too much pressure on him. And one thing what the media does, and a lot of fans do, is keep putting pressure on these young players. He's coming back. He wants a run of games. He's getting them. And I think he will only improve.
Yeah, under the games under Michael Carrick, I think he's one of the top performers, in terms of ground covered overall. And I'm looking at Bruno Fernandes, in this game. The last couple of games against Everton, I don't think was great. Really sloppy passes, I thought, were from Bruno. Also, looking at the West Ham game, he was basically man-marked out of that game. And fair play for West Ham in how they set up and got a point out of that game. But for me, I need to see an impact back to the Bruno of old, of what we know in this game, because everything goes through Bruno. Yeah,
everything goes through Bruno. And I did say the other day, I want him right up there. I don't want him coming back running all over. But he does suffer his football when he's man-marked, and he has to get out of that. But what he has to be the focal point up front. So that's what I'm looking for, and I'm going to focus on Bruno Fernandes. He has to put in a captain's performance because they are going to be tough to break down, and he needs to be in there.
Yeah, a lot of he's getting involved in the chat. I did ask you as well at the start of today's live stream, currently got a live poll running, and I said, with Villa dropping points, where will United finish this season? 66% are currently saying top three, 30% are saying top four, with only 3% saying outside of the top four. What position do you think Manchester United will finish? Let me know in the chat, especially the ones who are saying outside of the top four. Even if we finish fifth, that should look like we're going to still get a place in the Champions League for next season as it stands.
Well, I spoke the other day under Ruben Amorim. I thought we'd get eighth because I thought that you'd have carnage and chaos with some good football in it, right? But this now is completely different. For me, it's a top four. It's Champions League football. There's no other way I see it. And one of the reasons why I see it that way is because we've been talking about the other teams around us, how difficult it is for them. Your Liverpool, your Chelsea, all in the Champions League, your Villa in the Europa League. So for me, I think we've all got it. We've got it going for us. I just can't see it any other way because the team is playing for each other. They're fighting for each other. And like you've seen that fight in the Everton and the West Ham game. So it's all there. All the ingredients for Champions League football are there. The other sides have got it difficult. They're going to drop points and that. And we can't afford to lose more than 2 games. I've said it. We've got 4 draws to go and 5 wins. That's what I do believe we will get. And that will get us Champions League football. I'll be devastated, absolutely devastated, if we don't get Champions League football because all the signs point to it. All the signs point for it. And the fans are just having a fantastic time now. And it'll just be the topping off getting it. Because if we get Champions League football, last game of the season at home, listening to Michael Carrick is going to be something to behold.
I mean, it'll be huge today if Liverpool get beat or even draw against West Ham.
Dropping points.
Yeah.
That's what you want, dropping points. And it will happen. So for me, like I say...
Do you think they'll drop points today against West Ham? Or
anything can happen. I opened it up. This is a season of inconsistency. You know, and when Villa lose at Wolves, there's a reason why. Do you know what I mean? Injuries, tiredness and all that. And it seems that pressure. The pressure's on the other sides because they know. And this is the thing. Everyone knows Man United are back playing football. No one's coming to Old Trafford now, and I said it, right? Fortress Old Trafford. And I've not been able to say that, and I made up that I can say it because that's how I see it.
Yeah.
That's how I see it going forward to the end of the season, you know. And we've got some tough games. You know, we have got Liverpool to play. We have got Chelsea to play. So for me, you know, Fortress Old Trafford, that's all I want. Go away, fight. That's what you want when you're having the away games and nick them points. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward, though, now to this Aston Villa game in a couple of weeks at Old Trafford. Also, the Chelsea and Liverpool game as well, what we've still got left. You know, I think the teams that are in and around us, I think United do always raise the game against teams like that, though.
I think every game you've got to look forward to because every game, right, is a fight for points. And sometimes we'll want the 3 points. Sometimes we might only get the 1 point. But we can't criticise, okay? This is going to be tough, even though we've got the advantage, and we have got the advantage. We've got less games to play than all the other teams. So for me, just getting the points every game, and people will tell me, and they will quite rightly demand that I just concentrate on one game at a time. But unfortunately, I do get giddy sometimes, and that's why we was on the deluded train for quite a while.
Is it still the deluded train? Does it need a rebrand? Where you're looking at Manchester United finishing for this Premier League season? But I'd just like to thank you all for joining us today, getting involved in the chat, been popping off in there, mix of opinions, which we'll love to see. Smash that like button as well to help support the channel, and we'll be back straight after the game tomorrow with the 3 points, jumping into 3rd place. So come and join us and get your thoughts in on the game. We'll see you soon. Enjoy your Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you.